If this is the first video you're watching in this series, welcome to Lucky Lead Magnets. This is a course that teaches you how to use AI tools to create interactive lead magnets like checklists or online calculators or assessments for your business so that you could start putting it out there and using it to get leads for your own business. If you have no clue what an interactive lead magnet is, you've definitely seen them before. It's something like that skincare quiz that you take or the assessment that you take or the online mortgage calculator. All those are interactive lead magnets, but the thing is, you need to make one for your business, and that's what we're here to do. This was also a paid course turned into a free course, so in the description, you'll see a long ebook, a short ebook, some prompts, some email templates, and a whole bunch of other stuff to make this very easy for you. I just wanted you to know this is not the first video in this series, just in case you get lost or you started from this one. So if you do want to start from the beginning, it is in the playlist, and if you are in the right place, you are on the right video. Let's get into it.
Okay, lesson 3. Let's talk about choosing the right idea. This is going to be a quick lesson. So while you're looking to pick an idea for an interactive lead magnet, I wanted to quickly go through what are some of the ideas that you can choose just so it can kind of spark something, just in case you're in a certain industry, a certain lane. You probably know a lot about these ideas, but as I go through them, just think which one can I apply to my business. So this is how we're going to look at each type. First is the main job of each type. The second is who it's best for. And the third is an example. So number one, of course, you guessed it, quizzes. The main job of a quiz is to categorize what type am I? That's the main question that it answers. The type of people who it's best for, life and productivity coaches, business coaches, brand strategists, so on and so forth. So as an example, the quiz could be, what's your personal productivity style? And the answers could be prioritizer, planner, action taker, visualizer. So after you have the results, you can let them know which one people are. Number 2 is the assessment. And this answers the question of how am I doing? How am I doing versus X? This is best for health and wellness coaches, course creation coaches, financial coaches, and many, many other fields. I think you could probably map this one back to whatever you do, to be honest. And the example for this one is, how ready are you to launch your online course? So this would be for someone who's interested in audience building, trying to see if they're ready to build a course, if they can sell a course, so on and so forth, just trying to check off all of their boxes. Number 3 is calculators, and I feel like we've all used these. They're really popular online. And this answers the question, what is the number? So this is obviously good for freelancers, virtual assistants, marketing and ad strategists, financial planners, anything that has to do with numbers. And 2 examples are freelance rate calculator. Those are really popular online. And another example that is less popular, but a great idea, is how much could you earn by outsourcing? So helping people go through the things that they could cut out of their routine, that they can add to their routine, that they could get taken off their plate. How much could you earn by outsourcing? Great example. And number 4 is a recommender. This answers the question of which of your things is right for me. And this is best for coaches with a lot of tiers, course creators, freelancers with different service packages. This is a very easy way for someone to say, this is what I need from this person, and kind of make a package of their own. And you could recommend, based on what you serve, okay, here's a service for you based on everything that you're looking for. And the example here is, which of my coaching programs is your perfect fit? Now we're going to get into some more advanced ones, but those first 4 that I just walked you through, if you want to make this quick and easy and get this done in an hour or less, like I promised you, you're going to take one of those first 4 and use that. If you're willing to invest a little bit more time, make this thing a little bit more complicated, you could use any of these that I'm about to walk through now. This one is a grader, the first one. So the first one is a grader. And what this does is answer, how good is my stuff? So obviously for it to answer how good is my stuff, it needs to evaluate something on the back end, which Lovable can do. But it would take a little bit more effort, and I don't want to mislead you. So just know it's going to take a little bit more effort than the quiz or the calculator, which is fine if you want to take an hour and 30 minutes or 2 hours instead of 1 hour. The next one is generators, and this answers, can you create some ideas for me? So this would be like content marketing strategists, social media managers, copywriters, and now with all of the AI image generation, this might even be designers of, can you generate XYZ for me? I need to see it first. I need to hear it first. So with that, those are your options at a very high level. You can look up a lot of different other interactive lead magnet ideas, but for 90% of business, no matter what you do as the person watching this, one of those formats is going to work. So now at this point, you've got your idea. And if you don't, we're going to go through a couple other ways that you can get to your idea. But let's head over to the next lesson. To lesson number 4. This is one of my favorite lessons because I am a marketing strategist, and this is a big part of marketing strategy. But we're going to talk about how to research your audience. So researching your audience is done to either validate an idea you already have or spark an idea if you don't have one yet. So when you get this intel from your audience, you can make the idea better based on what you found, or it can give you an idea because it's going to become very obvious what your audience is struggling with if you just follow a couple simple steps. Now we're going to talk about a quick hack for finding pain points. Now, as you probably know about me by now, I've been working in marketing for a long time. And one of the things that I was very surprised by when I was a junior in marketing, when I was first starting, was how much money big agencies spend to just get research. Now, I could go on and on about that forever, but the point I'm trying to make here is nowadays we have tools that allow us to do research that used to take a ton of time and big teams and big budgets, and we could do 70% of that by ourselves by just using modern tools. Now, I mentioned working in the agencies, and one thing that we used to do that I never knew before working in the agencies is use this thing called natural language research. And all that is talking about using community forums and online sources like Reddit, like online forums, like just places where people are having natural conversation to do natural language research. Because when people are having these natural conversations in these spaces that we're talking about, they're using their real language. They're not trying to sound professional like they're on LinkedIn. They're not trying to sound perfect like they're like talking directly to their audience. These are people who are just talking about their fears, their frustrations, their hopes, what makes them happy, their desires. So it makes for a really rich place for you to grab insights about the audience. So that's what this is all about, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you a shortcut I use that I think might be one of your favorite parts of this course because I think it's just so underrated. So to do this, we're going to use a tool called Perplexity AI. And if you've never heard of Perplexity, the quickest way I can explain it to you is when you do a Google search and all of those things pop up and you go click one by one through each one, what Perplexity does is kind of flip that idea. And when you enter your search query, it searches through, let's say, for example, 35 different sources. So then you have, and then it synthesizes those 35 different sources. So instead of you going through and clicking one by one, each of these sources in Google, what you're doing is looking at all 35 at one time, which is obviously extremely helpful. Now, what you're going to do is copy and paste one or two of my prompts for deep research. You can see which one works better for you. But what I like to do is fill in the blanks for the prompt, and I like to use social only. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration of that. There will be demonstrations of all this. I might just plug it in right here. I honestly don't know yet. But you're going to plug it in. You're going to choose social only. And then from there, you're going to get a bunch of results about pain points that maybe you've thought of, maybe you haven't, a bunch of words, a bunch of emotions, just a real treasure trove of assets and things you can learn from. And with that, as I've been mentioning, you're either going to validate your idea and make it stronger by just reading a whole bunch of insights that you probably have not known because it's just so deep, or you're going to read through and say, hey, my clients do struggle with this pain that I'm seeing right here. Maybe it's the third pain or the fourth pain or whatever. And then that's going to be what sparks your lead magnet idea. It works different for everyone. I don't know what's going to work for you, but at this point, you're going to have your idea. And another tip for Perplexity is deep research mode. You know how I was just talking about those 35 results being collapsed into one? Well, deep research mode takes it and makes it 100 searches instead of 35. So it really goes deep, and you could do this for free. It's another reason why I chose Perplexity to be a part of this course, because you could do all this stuff for free and get your lead magnet done. And now that you have your idea, and if you still don't have your idea, you could just use my prompt that came with this course. Just plug in your information and it'll give it to you. But to be completely honest, the rest of this course will be a piece of cake because you've clarified your idea and you brought it through the 3 Ps. So once you've done those 2 things, you are ready to create a very, very good interactive lead magnet that gets your audience moving. So let's move on to the next lesson where we're going to talk about building the back end, the brain of your lead magnet without you thinking about it. Let's go.